What's good? 90 Day Fiance Fridays on a Sunday, people. Is George there?
Yo, I'm here. I'm here. My bad. I was posting the link on Instagram. I'm
Oh, my
actually.
bad. I didn't realize you were doing promo.
Yeah, I didn't do a after show today,
Hmm.
so I'm referring everyone here because
Uh,
I didn't. My co-host is in Portugal.
hmm.
And then my other co-host, she informed me that she hadn't even done any Christmas shopping yet, so she's not able to join us. But I wanted to make sure everybody who usually goes to that after show comes to this after show.
That's fair. I know you have your IG after show super fans.
Yeah, I have people that look for the show every night or every week, and it's not going to be there. So I wanted to make sure that they had the link to come here, so
True.
they know. Okay, so I just posted it. Yeah, yeah. So how's it going? How's Sunday for you? How's Dad? How's Papa Shabuti?
Oh, yeah, I saw him earlier today. He's doing better than previous days. Like
Oh, that's good.
he's not as much like pain, like when you, because before when you just like moving him in any way, shape, or form was like, you know, it's very painful, let's just say. But now it's like less. It's not as crazy of an pain ordeal.
Oh, that's good. That's in the right direction. It's moving in the right direction, going from a lot of pain to not as much pain. That's always good news.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I tried to bring him his laptop to like watch stuff on there, but he didn't really seem that the live viewing TV on the laptop. The selection is kind of limited, so he wasn't really impressed.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I'm not a laptop TV or phone TV person. I'm
Yeah.
very like I like okay, so my TV in my one family room is a 75 inch, and then in the other family room it's a 120-inch projector screen,
Hmm.
and which I also at times find to be small. So I feel him on that. Like watching on a laptop. When I travel, I have to watch like the show on a laptop and stuff, and it's really, really, really painful for me. I can't get through it.
Like I don't mind reality TV on a laptop, but like a drama show. Like for example, I just started watching the Dexter, the new prequel Dexter show.
Oh, see, I was gonna watch that, but I haven't watched the first one, so I have to go back and watch the first one before I can watch the new one. So,
When you say you didn't watch the first one, meaning like you didn't watch the original?
yeah, I didn't watch the original Dexter, so I technically need to watch that before I can get into the new one.
Yeah, you need to watch the original Dexter, which is a bunch of seasons. You need to watch all those. Then they did like a new, then they like a year ago or something, they did another season of Dexter. Like they just kind of like pieced together a new season, and then that ended, and now they did the prequel. So you have like three batches of stuff to watch.
Yeah, but that's good though because I've been like in a dry spell of shows, and I've been watching like random, awful, terrible TV shows lately because I don't have anything else to watch. So I
Hmm.
need like a really long. You know what? I just watched Schitt's Creek for the third time. That's how bad it is. I can't find anything to watch. I literally
Okay.
can't find anything to watch.
True. Yeah, but like, so yes, a show like Dexter, that's something I like watching on it. I need to watch on like a TV. But
Well, yeah, yes. And if I'm like binging a show, I'll go in the I have like a theater area room with like a 120-inch screen with like the recliners. I'll go in there and I'll just for hours, literally, and stream and binge. It's
mhm.
it's like my guilty pleasure. I won't leave the house for days. If I find a good show, I won't leave the house for days.
That's like your Florida setup, or you also had a setup like that prior to your Florida move.
Oh, no, no, no. My old house in Ohio also had a theater, but it
Hmm.
was in the basement. So it was a little cold
Yeah.
down there, but like here we ain't got no basements. So, it's actually a normal temperature now. So like in Ohio, we would use it, but everybody would have to bring a blanket, because
Hmm.
in the wintertime it's like 10 degrees. So and your basement is 10 degrees cooler than outside. So yeah, but I like it better here.
True. Lana says the first Dexters are amazing. You'll get hooked, George.
Well, I figured as much because I'm a horror movie person and like a murder documentary person, so I know it's like along the lines of that. So I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure it's a show that I probably should have been watching this whole time, and I just missed it somehow.
Yeah. So the show is based on a book, and I've actually interviewed the guy that wrote the book. So
Really?
yeah,
That's
Jeff Lindsay for the people that are listening at home.
That sounds like a very rich guy because Dexter is a huge deal. Like legit, I go to the store. There's merch. There's T-shirts. When I go shopping, I see T-shirts of the show and shit. So he's very rich.
I assume so, but
Yeah, I hope he did a good contract. But oh, so on this episode,
hmm
we watched Tiger Puff. Tiger Lily announced that she was pregnant.
yeah.
So, we had previously talked about this random baby that Adnan posted like a month or
hmm
two ago.
hmm
And, we had speculation that this was probably his baby, but we didn't have any actual like verification, clarification, or anything. Do you think that that was the baby that that we saw the test for today? Like, do you think it's real, or what are you thinking?
hmm I mean, at the time, I'll admit, I was speculating that that's not his baby,
So did
but
I said the
yeah.
same thing. So
Mhm.
I wanted to see if how you feel changed because now we got verification that she was pregnant on the show.
For whatever, I'm gonna have to stick with my. Well, okay, so yeah, I guess she's pregnant, but like, and I could be wrong, but I'm gonna stick with my SAT answer, which is like stick with my gut, and I still feel like when there is a baby to show, it's going to be in coordination with like TLC and 90 Day Fiance's official account, and it'll all be planned out, and the baby photos will be like amazing, and then they may sell it to People Magazine, so it'll be like more of an ordeal. I don't think he was just he would post it on an Instagram story and then let it sit there for hours if it was the real baby photo.
I agree with you because even if when he got to Texas, right, and they were filming, and obviously this birth would have been a part of filming, he wouldn't have posted that photo. And if he did, somebody from the show would have called Tiger Lily, called him, and said, "Hey, take that goddamn photo down. That's gonna air on Happily Ever After, whatever they show up on." So you're right. I think that post. Maybe his brother had a baby, maybe somebody else.
Mhm.
I don't think that's the baby because we just watched Bilal and Shida's baby, get posted, and I think that there'll be a lot more fanfare, like you said. I think there'll be a lot more attention
Mhm.
to that situation. Oh, so I want to talk about this situation where Tiger Lily's bed was a mattress on the floor. Some people are speculating it might have been a futon. Some people are speculating it may be a blow up mattress.
Mhm.
So this woman wants us to believe she drives a $400,000 Lamborghini regularly as her commuter vehicle, and she sleeps on the floor on a mattress. So I just want to get your reaction on that because that doesn't add up to me. I don't know
Mhm.
very many people that drive a $500,000 car that sleep on the floor. Do you?
No, I saw those comments in the comments section. And I'll be honest, you know how like one of those things where like when you're focusing on like live tweeting and you're focusing on like certain things, you're not sometimes you'll miss something. So I like for whatever reason I wasn't paying attention to that, but I saw tons of tweets about it. So I need to go back and like pay closer attention.
Well, okay, so what got my attention, I totally understand that because I miss half of the shit. I have to rewind because a lot of times when they're speaking another language and I'm
hmm
tweeting, I have to go back because I need to read the screen and I can't type, tweet, read at the same time. So I totally get that. So what caught my attention was I was tweeting and I looked up and she was sitting on the mattress and she was no more than 5 or 4 inches off the floor,
hmm
and also her apartment had like shit everywhere. There's like moving boxes, there was like stuff all over the floor. It looked like basically a tornado went off inside the apartment. And also the apartment was extremely small. It looked like a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. There's nothing to the apartment. Also weird because she's got 2 kids. I would assume she would have at least a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment.
hmm
Also weird. But I think what caught my attention was how close she was to the floor when she was sitting on the bed. And I looked up and I was like, where's the headboard? I was like, where's the, because I mean, I know a lot of guys first starting out. I'm pretty
hmm
sure my first apartment when I was 18 or 19, my bed was an air mattress. I think a lot of guys start out like
hmm
that, right?
Yeah,
I don't want to say,
guys just care about when they first move. They care about like the TV, their PlayStation 5, and like yeah, whatever bedding is there. It doesn't really matter.
well, yeah, exactly. My living room, I had a couch, entertainment stand, a TV, game system. Everything was set up. My bedroom was just an air mattress, because
Mhm.
that's just how guys are. We have our priorities. So when I saw her on the floor, because remember, scene one, Tiger Lily, Frisco, Texas, she's purchasing a $26,000 watch, remember? So she pulls up in a Lamborghini truck and she goes into this watch store. She's like, "Oh, I'm going to special order this $30,000 watch because I'm just a super super rich lady." And then we see her apartment, which is this tiny one bedroom in Frisco, Texas. I mean, not a tiny one bedroom in NYC Manhattan, because that
Mhm.
is like 10 grand. We're talking Frisco, Texas, where it's like $800 a month. So I'm like, how rich does she think that we're going to believe that she is? So my theory is she rented the Lambo. Okay, because I live in
Mhm.
Florida. I know that you go to Miami. If you want to drive a Lambo, you give somebody $250 and you get it for 2 hours. It's like she rented a Lambo to drive around while she was on the show. Because if you notice, we only saw the Lambo truck once. And then when
Mhm.
she was going to the airport, both times she used a Uber.
Mhm.
We never saw this Lambo that she speaks of again. So my theory is she's a typical faking it till you make it cast member. We see this, I actually see a lot more on Love After Lockup now, but we see a lot of these cast members, they want to give the idea, the perception that they're rich.
Mhm.
Darcy and Stacy did it before. Darcy and Stacy had all this money, they pretended like they had all this money. They have money now, don't get me wrong, but like when we first started saw Darcy and Stacy, they didn't have anywhere near as much money as they let on. And I think
Mhm.
Tiger Lily is playing the same game. She's like, I'm going to be rich because I'm doing this show, so I'm going to make it appear that I'm already there. Like that's my theory.
Like, I mean, what did you? I mean, I did the live tweet about it, but what did you think when she said, like, literally minutes after doing the video where she says she's pregnant, and she says, "quote How am I going to fit another car seat in my Lamborghini?" Like, that was her big worry.
Well, that's exactly what a broke person would say.
Hmm.
Like broke people. Okay, so and there's also new money and old money. So like there's certain things that people do and say, like when I had new money, I had to make sure I said things that or did things that people realized that I had money now. Because I grew up in the ghetto, in the hood, in the Section 8. So
Hmm.
when I got new money, I had to make sure that everyone is fully aware that I had it. And
Yeah.
old money, because I have friends that own businesses. I have a friend that owns a jet. They don't ever talk about money. It's so unimportant and insignificant to them. They would
Hmm.
never say anything about my Lambo or my Maserati or my jet.
Yeah.
They don't talk that way because that's just life. That's just who they are. So when I
Yeah.
saw her, she had to put the Lamborghini into the the scenario. I was like, she
Hmm.
doesn't have that much money, or it's very very new to her situation, and I'm leaning more towards she doesn't really have that much money.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like we've had that discussion before in the past, and I don't think any of us really buys into her. But I know she's trying to like parlay her TV fame into online businesses, like every other cast member these days. And I know Adnan posts about a cameo every two seconds and shit like that.
Yeah, I think that they are working on getting rich from the show, but I don't think they're that rich. I think that they probably went into debt making themselves look rich for the show, like that wedding and stuff. I think that they paid way more than they had because they were like, oh, we're going to be on national TV, and people like Angela Deem have been on the show, Darcy and Stacy. We're going to be like them. We're never going to have to work again. And I think that they went into debt pretending that they already had the lifestyle that they want. And I don't know if they've noticed, but lately nobody has really been making it that huge off of the show. Just like if I was to ask you who won American Idol and The Voice last year, you wouldn't be able to tell me. The hotness of the shows are burning out. So nobody is hitting, Angela Deem and Darcy and Stacey money from doing a season of the show anymore. That's kind of old and played out.
Yeah. True. Do you want to? Should we go to another topic?
Yeah, so Lauren booked a hotel tonight and with the last of his $46, which was a really nice hotel, and he scared Faith off. Which, okay, so my take on this whole thing was Faith was like, I have to break up with Lauren because he broke a can on his face and he had a butter knife in his hand. And I was like, well, I get it. That's odd. But I was like,
Hmm.
wouldn't it have made more sense for her to break up with him when he said, hey, I'm cheating on you and I have gonorrhea? Like, what made the
Hmm.
can on his forehead the last straw, but gonorrhea not be the last straw? Like, I don't know. It caught me as
Hmm.
really weird the way that she was like, well, I have to break up with him. I never want to see him again. He had
So
a butter knife.
I think and again, I don't know if this is like the reality, but I think her explanation of it was it freaked her out in the sense of like because okay, those guys that like go on a date and then they go on a date with let's say there's a guy on like 10 like Tinder or some shit. So they go on a date with the chick, and then they find out in the middle of the date that it's like a trans woman. They didn't realize it. And then I've heard stories, like when they get tricked, then they get all like violent and crazy because they realize they just got tricked into being on a date with a trans chick. Or if it's like, like if let's say they're trying to, getting intimate or something. So I think Faith has this thing where she's freaked out where if you come at her like violently or like smashing shit on your head and sticking a knife up against her head, it freaked her out in the sense of like, oh, is he having this like adverse reaction towards me being like trans? Is he gonna like do something violent towards me? I think that was the what freaked her out.
Oh, well, see, I don't look at Lauren as a threat of violence to anyone.
Mhm.
Like Lauren is Lauren. Like, I don't think that
Yeah.
Lauren has it in him to hurt anyone. I
Hmm.
don't think that, like, physically or anything else. I don't think that. But I mean, I understand her perspective because I have heard those horror stories, not recently, more so in the past, of men being very violent towards trans women, or if they found out about them being trans. Yeah, heard that in the past. So I understand that could be a phobia of a trans woman who is trying to trust a man, because
Hmm.
a man might say, "Oh yeah, I'm totally cool that you're trans," but then maybe they're out in public and one of their good friends sees him with a trans woman. He might not feel the same way. So I mean, I understand that fear, but I don't think Lauren is the type that he's going to hurt anybody. I don't think it's possible for Lauren to hurt anybody. I don't even think he
Yeah.
has it in him.
Yeah. He only hurts couches, not people.
Yeah, couches are a huge he's a threat to couches. If you have a couch, put plastic on it. He's a massive threat to any type of fabric in your home. You need to make sure that you protect it. That's the only thing that he's a major threat for. You
Yeah.
can put an APB out on him for that.
Yeah. But it definitely like freaked her out. But I don't know. But I don't. And then wasn't there a story where like Lauren said that he's like autistic, but he just hid it from the show or something? So maybe that
Well,
was like an
yeah,
autistic outburst.
he said something. Well, okay, let's get into it. He actually said Niles is faking, but he really is. This is okay. So Lauren basically was like, "Well, Niles is faking. He's not really autistic. I'm autistic." That's
Mhm.
kind of what Lauren said, and this is Lauren, so no one was surprised. But I think it's crazy for him to start undiagnosing people. Like
Yeah.
diagnosing is one thing, but now you're undiagnosing people.
Well,
Like,
sorry guys, sorry. I just it's so wild because autism is like such a broad spectrum that there are many different people who have different personalities who are autistic.
Hmm.
So like for him to like, oh well, that can't be because like that's not how I am, is like is completely insane.
well,
Hmm. Oh,
yeah,
but
there's high functioning, there's so many different versions of autism, right? That's why they literally call it a spectrum for this reason. If
Yeah.
people can land anywhere on this massive spectrum
hmm
of symptoms and issues that they could face. And again, Lauren, I don't know if he thinks about what he does and says before he says it or does it. Like he might be Scott where he does it and then maybe thinks about it later. So I don't know what
Right.
that was a
hmm
crazy statement. I mean, if he is on the spectrum or whatever, that would explain some things for
I
me.
mean, I think we're all on the spectrum in some ways or
hmm
another, but
but
No, you're
you
right.
know,
but
like
but
I mean, I was recently diagnosed with autism, just because of certain mannerisms that I do, and they're like, oh well, that's like something
mhm.
that someone who is autistic would do, and I was like, huh, that makes sense. So,
But
you know,
by the way, there's another Coco in the chat. Coco Puff 25.
uh-oh.
She says, I'm just like reading her comment for devil's advocacy.
Hmm.
She says Lauren plans on fighting with Kyle. He's fine with some form of violence.
Oh well, yeah. The Kyle fight with Lauren, we talked about that on my interview with Kyle.
Hmm.
Hmm.
There's not going to be anyone getting hurt. They're going to be wearing like boxing gloves, the face
The
mask,
headgear.
the headgear. Yeah, I'm not a sports person. Don't ask me for the real terminology here.
You mean the
But
sparring gear?
yes, that stuff. So nobody's gonna really be getting hurt. It's more
Mhm.
so for entertainment, and I think Lauren wants to raise money. To I don't know what he wants to raise money for, but he wants to raise money. So it's nobody's gonna actually be beating the crap out of anybody there. So I think it'll be fun to watch Kyle and Lauren fight because I feel like between the two of them, there's like 0 ounce of like fight in either of them. Like if they had to fight for their lives are
Mhm.
basically gone. Like I don't see any actual violent side of either one of them, to be honest.
Yeah, it's two wimps fighting.
Exactly, right? Oh, so I want to bring up we found out that his plan for the Thailand wedding, because it's legal in Thailand, it's actually not legal in Thailand. It's funny because somebody, Coco, was it you? Somebody already determined that it wasn't legal in Thailand before we got here. I don't
Hmm.
remember. Was it you?
No, it was not.
Maybe it was Cap. Cap. Somebody already said they're like, well, it's illegal in
Mhm.
Thailand too, so he doesn't know what he's talking about. He didn't know what he was talking about, and I think when his reaction and breaking the can on his head and the knife, the butter knife, I think that was his reaction, knowing that he wasted 2 weeks in the
Mhm.
Philippines because he knows for a fact since the K1 visa is the only option. There's no chance in hell he would ever be approved for a K1 visa. First of all, you have to make a minimum of $50,000 a year.
Right. Yeah,
So
Mhm.
absolutely.
I think that was just his bummed out mood
Yeah.
of him knowing this is not going to work. Now I have to go back to Las Vegas and work and give all my money to my ex-wife. I think that was just his
Womp
reaction.
Yeah.
womp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I agree with you, George.
yeah, that's my vibe because I was like, he knows, but he doesn't want to like tell Faith like, hey, this is the last time I'm ever gonna see you because if I didn't come here, this isn't a
Mhm.
real relationship. Because he led her to believe they were in a real relationship. They weren't. It was only a real relationship if he was getting to stay in the Philippines forever. And he could escape his obligations here, his child support, his ex-wife. That was the only way. So once he realized, I think at the immigration lawyer is when he knew all hope was lost. And I think you could tell that his entire mood was different from that moment
Mhm.
on.
Yeah, his pipe dream came crashing down, and then, but little did he know, if he just hung in there, he would be TJ Maxx Employee of the Month.
Right? He's TJ Maxx Employee of the Month, going for Employee of the Year, right?
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
And now
He
I'm
he's
gonna
might
have to visit. I'm gonna have to
he,
visit him.
he might even get department supervisor if he
Mhm.
plays his cards right. He might be the person who prints out the pricing labels.
All right.
I mean,
Right? That's
he's
that's
probably the most famous TJ Maxx employee I know of.
no, he is. I don't know any TJ Maxx employees more famous than Lauren at this moment. He's the most famous one I know.
And he posts like endless photos of him with tourists. So,
Yeah, he's right there in Vegas, and I think his store is not too far from the action. So he's like a spectacle, right? Like he's
mhm.
like this huge spectacle where people are coming to look at it. Like he's like the bearded lady, right? Like he's this huge spectacle in the middle of Las Vegas. Everybody's like, "Well, I'm in Vegas. I got to go to a show. I got to gamble,
Mhm.
and I got to go see Gonorrhea Boy." Like he's
And,
literally on the list,
but
right?
by the
He's
way,
literally on the list.
I don't have the tweet in front of me, and I wish I did. But on Twitter, some chick was like tweeting with him, and then saying like, who the hell's looking at f you, like have sex with you? And he's like, no, there's a whole, people are clamoring to fuck me.
I didn't see that tweet. So there are people clamoring and fighting to get in line to
Yeah,
have sex with Lauren,
yeah,
who is
according to
known
Lauren.
as Gonorrhea Boy.
Yeah.
See, these type of stories really make me believe that we might be hopeless as a nation.
You mean we're living in Idiocracy, the
Yes,
movie?
it makes me feel that way
Yeah.
because when I watch Love After Lockup 2 and I see that there is more than one woman fighting over the same felon, I was like, there might really not be hope
Like,
for
girl,
us.
there's more than just one felon to go around. I
There's
mean,
jails
come
are
on, let's please, guys.
jails and prisons are full. Like you don't have to fight over the same guy. There's like
Mhm.
another guy sharing the same cell with him that you can talk to. Like that's why I'm like, I don't know if there's hope anymore. Like I'm beginning to think we might just be screwed, like as a world, as a
Yeah.
planet, because now that there's women that are actually finding Lauren, finding him, going online, calling his phone number so they can have sex with him.
I
This
was
is
no, I was dying today because like someone tagged me in an Instagram post with him like, "Oh, where's Coco selfie?" And he said, "Well, apparently she's not down with the kink." And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
oh
First of
wait.
all,
I think that was my comment that he replied to, wasn't it? I remember seeing that.
nobody wrote that to me because he wrote she, and he tagged me, And I was like, okay, well, if you actually knew me, you knew I'm very kinky, so that's automatically no. I just thought it was funny. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not kinky enough to want to get gonorrhea.
Yeah, that takes it to
Sorry,
a different level,
I'm
right? Like
sorry, I just can't.
I'm kinky too within reason, right? Like
Yeah, like
within
I don't want
reason.
an S. I'm not an S. I want an STD kinky.
Yeah,
No,
you like them old, but not old gonorrhea.
not
No.
infected, right? Old but not infected. You know, you have standards.
Yeah.
You don't want to catch anything. You want to have
Mhm.
a
No.
good night, and then nothing from that night come with you the next day, right? Is that how it
Exactly.
goes?
It's like whatever. It's like kind of like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Like I kind of want that type
Mhm.
of
Well,
night.
yeah. You don't want any very awkward telephone calls afterward,
No.
right? No,
Like,
nobody's
hey,
looking.
so you're probably gonna get checked up.
Yeah, you're gonna be on a pill for
Oopsies.
10 days. Like you're gonna be on a pill for 10 days.
Oh no,
Mhm.
thank you. I'm good. That's
True.
nice.
Should we get to like Sunny and Vaya?
Yes,
Oh
please.
yeah, let's get to Sunny and Vea because I want to say one thing and then y'all can have at it. But I thought it was interesting how Sunny played the sweet, innocent, virgin Muslim boy all the way up into this episode where we got that rageful Muslim guy who was like, convert to my religion now. And that was, you know, how you're in an argument with someone and then they finally show their true colors and you're like,
Mhm.
there you are. There's the person I was looking for. There's that
There he
asshole.
is.
And that was my there are you moment because I was waiting because I was like, he seems really sweet. Maybe she really is, not gonna have to convert. And I was like, nope, there he is. There's that asshole. He just came out. He's 17 episodes. We've been waiting. We finally see that asshole that's deep within. And he basically was like, oh, and my dad was right. Ali was right. Everyone's right. You have to be a Muslim and you need to convert right now. And I was like, see, it
Mhm.
was kind of a catfish for me because everybody online was like, why didn't you just tell her that before she flew halfway across the world? And also, why didn't you tell her that before you had sex with her 6 times?
Yeah.
Exactly. He's
These
Right?
already a fucking hypocrite if he screwed her. I mean, isn't that
Six
against the religion?
times.
That's against the religion?
Yeah, but he can break religion rules.
Well, yeah, of
Mhm.
course,
Wo-
because he's Sunny and he thinks
Women
he's
can't.
special. Yeah,
That's always
exactly. Yep.
that's always been my biggest issue. 'Cause, I'm very
My
open
my
minded.
issue. No, I agree, but my issue is why? When are they gonna wake up and realize, like, you're gonna if you're gonna go for a guy who is Muslim, you're gonna know that his customs are different than yours. Like, it's not gonna magically disappear just because you guys supposedly love each other.
Mhm. But like
Yeah.
the whole temper tantrum thing at the end, to me, it just seemed like that was like here's the way I see it is like he was into banging her, but he wasn't really into like making her his wife. So he's like, let me have this temper tantrum as a way to get rid of her.
Oh, so wait, you think he had
He did.
never had any intention of marrying her?
Yeah, I think he's into fucking her, but he's not like, he doesn't see her. He's not attracted to her like I'm trying to wife her up. So he's like, this is a good way to have a temper tantrum to get rid of her.
Oh, this was his sowing his wild oats, banging an American tattooed girl before he marries a Muslim woman.
That's one way, I guess. Yeah, but just
Yeah,
I
I
Or
mean, like,
think
he's the type of guy that just waits for the wheels to fall off and have the women break up with him instead because he doesn't want to do that.
that
yeah.
could be too. Yeah, you're right. That could be too because he played the sweet role all the way up until the end, and then that was we first saw the asshole totally at the end, which I thought was really what do you call it? It was really hypocritical, like a huge hypocrite.
Hmm.
Oh, somebody just replied to the comment. It looks like she just moved. Yeah. Okay. So going back to that Tiger Lily thing, there were moving boxes everywhere. So do y'all want to write off her apartment and her sleeping on the floor to she just moved or she was about to move? Because a lot of people keep arguing with me that she's
Hmm.
in the process of moving and I can't say that she's sleeping on the floor and she actually has $10 in her bank account. So how do you guys? I mean, all right. So I have
I'm
one
sorry,
more.
but no fucking rich person's like, I have to make another see the Lamborghini today.
So let me just say this. Lamborghini drivers, when they have to move, there are people that show up and box everything and carry it for them.
Well,
So when I saw
duh.
her boxes were there for her to pack, I was like,
No way.
you're not rich, lady. You know, like, because
No.
when it's time for me to move, I get a quote from some people and they come pack my stuff. Honestly, if I was to pack my own stuff, everything would be destroyed. I don't trust
Same.
myself to do that. So when I think of a $400,000 car owner, I think that she wouldn't have bought her own boxes from U-Haul for 85 cents each and was gonna pack up her own apartment. So I still feel the same way. So all of y'all who keep commenting at me and coming for me, I still feel the same way.
True.
No, I believe I'm the same fucking way. Like, I mean, you're gonna pay someone to come in and pack your shit, especially someone like her, because I would assume she didn't want to break a nail. And if you've ever packed with long nails, they pop off. So
Well, this was someone who convinced us she had a glam squad that traveled with her 24/7. And then she went, so she got married and she did bring her glam squad with her. And then she went to Turkey and they were nowhere to be found. And
exactly.
she was looking
Yeah.
like she was run over several times by a bus in most of the scenes. So I was just like, I don't know, lady.
I think the Glam Squad were just like her friends that she
I
wanted to
think
give a
they were
free
part of
trip to.
production. I honestly think they were like PA interns, and they just decided to be like, okay, yeah, we'll play the pod.
Well,
I,
remember when they did her makeup and hair for 4 hours and she still looked like she just woke up?
Yeah, I
yeah.
was like, wait, what? That takes 4 hours. What does she look like when it's not?
Well, yeah, I was like, so for
I'm
4 hours,
scared.
if this
Hold
is
me,
what
George.
if this is what she looks like after 4 hours of makeup, like what does she look like right in the morning? Does she look like Darth Vader? You know,
Someone
like
quick.
right when she rolls out of bed, does she literally look like Darth Vader? Because she didn't look great at all after 4 hours.
I mean, she could technically say, like, Adnan, I'm your mother. I don't know.
Mhm.
Actually, in my opinion, Adnan's mom is hotter than Tiger Lily.
Oh, that's so awful.
She is. She like because I was like, damn, is Tiger Lily older than his mom? Because his mom was looking kind of cute. I was like, okay, I can work with this. I can
I,
totally work with
I,
this.
I got to go back and look what his mom looked like because I forget.
She was cute. She was cute. She
Uh,
looked younger than Tiger Lily. Not even gonna sit there and lie to
mhm.
you. She did. She's probably not. You know how there's some women that just look young no matter what. Jennifer Lopez is one of them. Like no matter what, they're just gonna look young. I think that she might be one of those.
Mhm.
I just cannot stand Tiger Lily. First of all, her fucking name, like, is she in Peter Pan? I don't know. But um I just like her voice is
Mhm.
like nails to like whatever brain cells I have left after watching her.
I mean,
Um
I'm annoyed that her if she's having a kid, that means she's gonna be back on another season.
fuck.
Oh yeah, that was the solidification of her coming back.
I
And
mean,
I
do we
kind of
really believe that's a thing? Did that she that I don't know. I'm gonna
well,
I'm gonna bet, like, you know what, next a couple or whatever it happens, they come back, it's gonna be always a false positive. Like, we'll wait like a year to hear about it.
Well,
So
that
I
crossed
don't
my
know.
mind. That crossed my mind too, because I
Mhm.
was like, what if she just paid like someone to pee on a pregnant woman to pee on a stick for her, so she could fool production into thinking? Because notice production wasn't at her apartment; she was self filming at the time.
Mhm.
So I was like, what if she was like, "Oh, I want to do another season, so I'll just say that I'm pregnant," and then when production shows up to film the next show, I'll just tell them, something happened and I'm not pregnant. Or maybe her thought was, I'll just get pregnant between now and then and they'll never know the difference.
I
Because
mean,
that
mhm.
that
I mean
crossed
when
my
I when
mind too.
when I opened up like Instagram after the show, the first post that popped up was like In Touch Weekly with the Tiger Lily's pregnant announcement. So I feel like that's coordinated with TLC PR. So I think it's real.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, if the PR and the magazines have ran it, it's
Hmm.
real. Because TLC has them in their back pocket.
Right.
They
Yeah,
they run stories when TLC tells them. So if they're already onto it, then it's
yeah.
probably true.
If they're doing the post at like 8 p.m. coordinated perfectly timing wise, as soon as it
Right.
breaks on the show, then it's like planned with TLC PR.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Yeah. And then did you like Veya's thigh tattoo?
I couldn't really make out what it was. It was just in a weird place for a tattoo for me. That was like a weird place to put a
Hmm.
tattoo. But
Yeah, the tattoo is. I couldn't really get a good look, but the screenshot I took shows the top of it. But it, yeah, it's not. It almost looks like debris or something.
well, yeah, I couldn't make it out. I didn't know what it was. But
Mhm.
whatever. I'm not a tattoo person. I don't have any, but I do think tattoos look good on other people. So I would have to get a closer look at hers. But
Oh, by the way, Coco, since you joined a little late, apparently you didn't know, like, George is a big shot with like home theaters and stuff and leather seats.
Wait, what?
He
what?
has a home theater with leather seats.
Well, yes.
Cool.
George,
I'm
aren't
so
you? I'm just
confused.
saying, aren't you impressed, Coco, that George? I'm being serious. I'm not even being facetious. I'm being serious. Aren't you? Aren't you impressed that George has like a nice home theater?
Yeah.
True.
Oh, I mean, it's nothing. It's not. I'm sure Coco dates older men. I'm sure she's got a home theater in her. I'm sure she got a home
Yeah.
theater in her house.
All the home
I
theaters.
kind of do. I'm not gonna lie.
See?
All the home theaters that Coco goes to are like wheelchair accessible with ramps and stuff.
What's wrong with that? Are you being ableist right now, Shabuti? What's so wrong with like being in a
Um,
wheelchair?
Nothing.
No, nothing,
Exactly.
nothing at all.
True.
I like to go for a ride sometimes.
That's fair.
Oh, okay. Wait, do y'all use the wheelchair during sex? Is that like an accessory?
No, I
Could
wish.
could it be? Like, I
Oh
don't know.
yeah. I've seen porn. I've seen pornos with men in like in their 80s, and that's the type of porn I watch.
That exists?
Oh my god, yeah, it's called Old G, and it's basically like anyone 71 and up.
Oh my god, that exists? I didn't even know that
Wow.
exists.
Oh
So
my
do you,
god, yeah, it's a whole thing. Oh, there's also
oh,
one, it's like two blue pill men, and so they all do threesomes. Anyways,
oh, I don't
um,
know about him, but do you have your? I can't believe we're going down this road, but like, do you know who like Blue Iris is?
Blue Iris. No, I
No,
don't.
I don't.
She's well, I have to say she's the late Blue Iris. She passed away, but she was like a granny porn star, and then
Oh.
she was featured on the female, and she was featured on the Howard Stern show a lot. Like, and then she would wear like a blue wig, and her name was Blue Iris, and she was like banging younger dudes on porn and stuff. And then, but then
Interesting.
she had a really funny voice. And then on the Howard Stern show they do like audio drops, like sound
Yeah.
effects and shit. So she would say things like, um, let me try to think of a quote like "You're making me hot" or something. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. Yeah, like just weird quotes and stuff. So they'll play like the sound effects.
What?
You're making me hot. I don't know. I forget her little sound effects, but
Oh my god.
you'll
Okay,
have to. I'm sure there are clips on YouTube, but we'll have to. I'll have to find those for you offline.
I googled it.
Mhm.
Holy Jesus.
George, I'm gonna send you a link to the old porn that I watched.
No, don't.
Oh yeah. It's called Senior Day.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's called Senior Day.
yeah, this Irish chick, she wears like a purple wig.
Mhm.
Holy crap.
Or maybe it's like I'm making myself hot.
Oh,
We're doing what? What are you making yourself hot with?
I don't know.
how old was she? Because it said that she was on life support in 2009.
Oh my god, shit. I know. I'm not.
We're
I'm not.
Don't
definitely down a
laugh,
I'm
Coco.
we're down a rabbit
not
hole.
laughing.
Are you being
Stop.
ableist, Coco?
No, no, darling. I'm ageist.
It says Lisa G
Hmm.
reported that porn star turned whack packer Blue Iris suffered a heart attack and has been on life support at 62 in 2009. Okay, so she was 62 in 2009.
But
Okay, okay.
she was 62, but she looked like she was 80.
Yes, she looks much, much, much older than 62.
Yes.
Because unfortunately there were non-clothed photos in my
Mhm.
Google search, which I did not ask for, by the way.
Oh
So
really?
no, I just
Are you
wanted
okay? Do you need
I
some support?
I just wanted to see what she looked like, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, when I googled the term, there were non-clothed photos in there as well. So now I
Yeah.
have to live with
Okay,
that.
guys, hold on. I'm putting this into the chat. It's not a video, mind you, but you guys are fucking kill me. Okay, check the chat.
Oh,
Oh, the
I
threat.
see it.
And
Senior
someone
asking
asked
for a
if it,
job well
someone
done.
Oh my god.
someone asked me if that was me.
And you watch this for entertainment?
Yeah, he's a little younger than I like, but yeah.
He looks like he may need oxygen after this. Like possibly may need like oxygen for like a straight hour.
I'll be his oxygen. Wow.
See, I didn't even know. Like, I
And
thought
look,
like,
over 500,000 views. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
the porn site is called Beauty and the Senior.
oh wow. I thought the oldest that I ever would see was like the scenario where it's
Mhm.
like the cheerleader and her cheerleader coach, like her teacher. I thought that that was old, so I
Oh
didn't
no,
even.
my favorite one is like the step grandpa.
The step grandpa, not even the grandpa, the step grandpa. I don't even think I had a step grandpa in my entire life.
Mhm.
I mean, granted, my family's black and everyone died early, but I don't even think that I had like a step grandpa my whole life. No step anything, actually.
Where he needs help getting up using his cane.
Wait, a step grandpa is different from a great grandpa, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, no, I'm thinking great grandpa. So step grandpa just means that they're married to somebody that you're not related to. Okay, okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was.
No, that'd be like he'd be married to my grandmother.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Okay.
Or should I reel this back into 90?
Yeah,
Yes.
we should get back. I don't
Oh
Okay,
my god.
I'm
okay.
not
We
even
haven't
sure
talked.
how we got here.
I don't
I'm
know.
not even sure.
I don't know, but we haven't talked about Vanja at all.
Oh, Vanja and Yoshiko. So
Yeah.
yeah, so apparently all those scenes where he carried her into the bedroom and slammed the door, they didn't have sex because she told us tonight that she never had sex with him until I think she did tonight, but I still don't trust her. She's such a liar. I don't trust her. But they were on their third date and they were
Mhm.
talking about fostering kids and having kids and getting married. And I think it's very possible that Vanja has found her match because I think she moves too fast. Like she meets a guy, she swipes
Mhm.
right, they go on a date, and she's
Yep.
like, "Let's get married right this second." And I think
Mhm.
she might have found a guy who moves just as fast because even on the third date, he's like, "You're the one for me. I want to be with you. You should be a
Oh my
mom to my
god.
son." And then
Oh
he
my god.
flies to Orlando for 10 days. So
Mhm.
I definitely think she found her match. I'm a little disappointed because there was a rumor online that she was talking to one of Bozo's friends, but it's not looking that way. I mean, it could be because she said that things were going fine, and then all of a sudden something went wrong, and she said this happened, and then the show ended. So that we'll find that out soon. But I was hoping that she was dating one of Bojo's friends because that would have been a
Mhm.
little more, entertaining for me.
Like, I don't know if it was a false flag or what, but I'm trying to remember. So at the end of the show where they had the preview for the future episodes, they did have this like one like 5 second clip or something with the I forget the guy's name. What's the guy's name? Man, just
Yoshiko.
Yoshiko. Yeah, there was this clip where it's like Yoshiko. He was like, and I could tell he's back in his home, and it seemed like he had like tissues like on his lap, like he just cried or something. So like
Yeah,
something
and she
happened.
was like things were going fine, and then this happened.
Yeah.
And
So.
yeah, it looked like he was crying, and my mind went straight to his son, and I was like, "Oh dear God, please don't let it be something that happened to his kid." But I don't
Mm,
know. Like you know how TLC is. It'll be absolutely nothing. It could be his best friend cousin's dog died. Like TL, you know
mhm,
how they are. They'll make us think that something
mhm.
is something is going on. It's literally nothing. So hopefully it's nothing bad.
True. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it could be a total bullshit, or it could mean that or if it is doom, it could be the doom of their relationship. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've only been on 4 dates. So
Mhm,
like is it really shocking that they might not work out? Like 4 dates.
mhm,
Come on now. Like after 4 dates, he flew all the way to Orlando for 10 days. Like that's insanity. That's why I think they kind of deserve each other. Because
mhm.
if he did all that after 4 days, he told her she was the one for him after 3 dates. Like I think maybe they deserve each other. They kind of should be together.
Yeah, I don't know for whatever. Maybe I'm just being weird, but like I for whatever reason, I feel like that I don't know for some reason that scene where he seemed like he was crying or whatever it was. I feel like that was real, and like something happens, and then they don't end up staying together or something.
Could
That's just
be.
my guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. It could be. I don't know. I never know with this show anymore. They I've so many cliffhangers and they've stirred me wrong many times, so I never know what to expect.
Yeah, and what was real quick? What was the thing I tweeted about it? But it was weird. Maybe he was just being funny. But when Sonny, going back to Sonny, he says something along the lines of like when they're doing the testimonial interviews, he's like, "So do you want to go to the toilet?" Did he mean like water sports?
Okay, so I didn't know exactly what was going on, and I watched it again, and they were talking about. She was like, "I taught Sonny how to shake his ass," and she was when that she said it on the screen. She was shaking her ass. They were dancing with the native people in Durban or in South Africa, and then he turned to her and he was like, "Yeah, you know I love that. Do you want to go to the toilet now?" And or so and I so I watched it back and I was like, "Well, what does he mean by that?" And then I never really understood it. And then online everybody was like, "Oh, I think that means that, they are into that toilet stuff like Gino and Jasmine." Or another person said, "Oh, I think that means he wants to go to the bathroom and then we're going to have sex in the bathroom." So I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm not freaky enough to know, I guess, exactly what they were trying to say because it went over my head. Coco, what were they talking about?
I honestly have no idea.
I don't either. Because I was like, well, what does that mean?
Mhm.
It's very possible
Yeah,
that
maybe it's like yeah, maybe like kind of like the Gino Jasmine thing, where like maybe they like to go in the shower and then piss on each other's.
well, that's where my mind went immediately. But again, I'm a perv when it comes to that type of stuff. I have a dirty mind, so
Mhm.
that's where my mind went immediately. And then some people online were like, "Well, wait, maybe they have like a weird public bathroom fetish where they like to go to random public
Mhm.
toilets and have sex. People do
That's a
that."
thing.
Yeah, so they were like, "Don't just assume that she's taking dumps on him. Like you can't just go straight there. He could mean something like, oh, we're doing these interviews at this hotel. There's a random bathroom downstairs. Let's just go to the bathroom." But he called it the toilet because the use of the word toilet made me think
Oh, I think you're right. Like we're thinking toilet, like literally, but like in the foreign languages, a lot of people, a lot of countries refer to the bathroom as the toilet.
exactly, exactly. So when he said toilet, we're thinking what goes in a toilet, but I
Hmm.
think he just means
The
public
bathroom.
restroom. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I think that so it kind of went over my head, and then people online were like, "Well, don't just think that she's dumping on him. Like it could just be they have a thing where they go to
Mhm. Yeah,
places,
like Ashley and what's it, Manuel or whatever.
yeah, they like to go to public places and use the bath and have sex in the bathroom. It's a thing. And I
Hmm.
didn't realize it was such a big thing because, for me, I'm a germaphobe, so I don't even like using bathrooms. So the idea of like having sex in a bathroom is way beyond my realm of comfortability because bathrooms are just disgusting. But that
Hmm.
there's people who really, really do that. Like it's their thing, it's their fetish. So maybe
Yeah.
that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, I think that's a good synopsis.
I mean, or she takes dumps on him. Right? Let's not
That
take it
too.
off the table, right? It's not off the table. This could be what was going on. I don't know. Vea looks like she might do stuff like that, right? She might.
Mhm. I mean, that's definitely haram, right?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely feel like that's probably something that they might do.
True. But I will say this episode was way more action packed than recent memory, other older episodes.
Yeah, this was a good one. We're at 17. They haven't said one word about a finale.
Hmm.
So I'm assuming we got at least two more to go. Because they say when you only have two episodes left, they usually tell you at the end, the conclusion, of like there's only two episodes to go to the 3-part finale, whatever they say. They usually start a little early, so we haven't gotten those previews yet. So I'm
Hmm.
assuming we've got 20 episodes before the tell all. So next week is probably when they're gonna say 2 episodes left before the 3-part tell all. So I'm assuming that's where we're
Hmm.
going.
True. Did you like my meme I made with like the rubbing the toe and I put Faith's head on Vanja's body?
Yes, I love that. You got to rub that toe to make sure that that person you're on a third date with is the person you're supposed to be married to. You got to just rub that toe just to be sure.
Mhm. Yeah, I took like when that scene happened, I just took a picture of Vanja or whatever, but I couldn't think of like a caption for it. But I was like, let me just take a photo because this is gonna be a good future meme. And then when the thing happened with Faith, I was like, all right, there, I figured out something to wish for.
Well, that or it could have been Julia wishing that her toes weren't as ugly as they were. Remember Julia's toes?
Mhm. Yeah.
Either one would work.
No,
And
that's it.
Jasmine, remember Jasmine? She got that lazy toe, the one that looks like
Mm.
it's run away from
Oh
her.
Oh,
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Jasmine, she got that lazy toe. It looks like her foot's
Mhm.
going to the right, but
But,
that
but
toe is going to the left.
mhm.
What the hell was
By the way, I have like a meme, like I had a meme idea not related to B90, but like speaking to Jasmine. I just thought it was interesting. Well, first of all, like, so apparently, like, this is more of a Friday topic, but anyway, I guess Angela, when she goes on live, she kind of like badmouths Jasmine a lot now or something. Yeah,
Wait, really?
or maybe not badmouth, but just more of like, yeah, I don't really watch when Jasmine's on, and I don't really watch her. She's fake and stuff.
Oh,
So yeah, so anyway, I guess like, so apparently, like, yeah, Angela and Jasmine aren't fans of each other, and they go back and forth and stuff. And then I just thought it was funny because like, this is random, but like, so Angela is a big like Trumper, and then Trump is now like anti-Panama these days. So I thought that's funny because Jasmine is Panamanian.
oh. So I saw something online that he tweeted about Panama. So he's anti-Panama now. I didn't know the full story.
It's something about the canal because like the Panama Canal is so valuable and shit, and all the
Yeah, yeah.
it's a
I saw
trade route and
he.
all that. So yeah, it's more of like
I
it's
think
more of
he
like a
wants to
money
make it
thing.
part of the U.S. again.
Yeah,
Oh, but I don't think they want to sell it. So are we gonna take it? Like, what does he mean by that?
I don't
Who
know, but
fucking knows?
I just thought it was funny that like Trump is anti-Panama, and then Angela
And
is a
now
Trumper,
Angela's anti
and
Jasmine.
she's
Yeah.
anti-Jasmine. So there's a meme in there somewhere, but I don't know.
Oh yeah. We gotta find it. There's a meme in there. There's photos and everything. It's a bit. The work is already done. You just gotta put the puzzle pieces together. You know.
True. So, all
Oh,
right,
so
any other topics?
Joey and Magna, whatever you want to call her, they were on tonight, and he met her mom,
Mhm.
and her mom was not really impressed with him, really. But I didn't really understand any of the scenes that we saw tonight with him because he doesn't want to marry her, or he says he does.
Why
But
is he on the show?
well, that's my question. It's before the 90 days. This is where you put the ring on it, and then you transition a 90-day fiance for the 90-day clock.
Right.
He said that he doesn't want to put a ring on her finger. He definitely doesn't on this trip. So I don't really understand why we're watching any of their scenes. And then she went and told her mom that he was banging his, well, she doesn't know it was his friend, ex-girlfriend, or friend. But I don't understand any of it because if you want your mom to like someone, you're not going to go and tell your mom all the horrible things that they've done to you and since you've known them. That's not how you get your mom to accept anyone. So I'm really confused at why we're even watching them at all. And then even more confusing, he was at the boat party, so it means that he's going to be back for some reason, and I can't imagine why. He's like literally the one cast member this season that shouldn't ever be back on the show, but apparently he's going to be back, and I can't understand why.
Yeah, well,
Bore
it
me.
seems like they're together, and I'm pretty sure she's probably like in the States, right?
Yeah, that's how it looked to me, but I
Yeah,
don't really want to watch it.
yeah.
Like
I mean,
they probably are. Like I don't really want to watch it. Like
mhm.
if they are, they're not the couple that needs to transition to another show.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Like there's
So, as much as we're not fans of them, and we're not necessarily fans of Tiger Lily, like, who would you, if you had to watch more Tiger Lily or had to watch more Joey and Magna or whatever, who would you rather watch?
I'd have to watch more Tiger Lily and Adnan.
True.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I like watching her pretend to be rich. It's kind of entertaining for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just like it. I like watching because I tweeted out. I was like, it's so funny because in real life she probably drives a Kia. But like on the show, since she rented that Lambo for the first scene, she's like keeping up this weird like fake life. Because like in real life, I'm waiting for someone on Twitter or somewhere to find her at a grocery store getting into her Hyundai, and they get a picture of it and then they post. I know it's coming. So I was like, I can't wait until somebody catches her somewhere in Texas in her Kia or her Hyundai, and they get a picture of her getting in so we can post it. I'm just waiting for my hands are like itchy. I can't wait to post what she really drives.
True. But by the way, there's like a.
Also, no offense to anyone who drives a Kia. Nice cars. No offense. I'm just saying she doesn't drive a Lambo.
By the way, Miss Bone is in the BOAN is listening. Uh, let me see if she's willing to like talk to us. But she's like a musician in LA. She was one of my. I don't know if I should say, but she was one of my sources for one of my LA scoops.
Mrs. Bone. I kind of like that name.
Yeah, she's a musician. If you're in LA, check her out. But I wonder if she's willing to speak to us or not. But anyway, I just figured I'll give her a shout out whether she wants to speak or not. She's coming. I think.
Oh, what's up?
In
Oh, and Maria. Who is that?
no,
Mariana.
that's her. That's her.
Oh, that's
That's
her.
Miss
Oh,
Bone. BOAN.
Oh, okay. So there's. Oh, I see. That's another person. Ben E is in here, and
Mhm.
I'm reading my phone upside down, so I got the two mixed up.
Miss Bone, if you want to speak, unmute yourself.
How do I do that? Am I
Yeah,
on?
you're on.
Ooh, technology.
Well, welcome
Thank
to
you
the
for
show.
inviting me. This is my first time ever listening in. I haven't watched the episode yet because I watch it on HBO Max,
Hmm.
Oh, I'm
and I think
sorry.
it comes
I'm
out like
sorry
no, no,
about
no.
that.
Oh, I love a spoiler, honey. I don't have a problem with hearing everything, but I
Oh
have
no,
some
I
friends
meant
in
I'm sorry
Texas. I'll
that
tell
you.
them to keep an eye out.
I'm sorry you have to listen on Max or watch on Max. I hate Max.
Well, what other channel is it on?
It's not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, it's that or Discovery Plus, and they both suck. So
Mhm.
again, I'm sorry that
Oh yeah, I
you
used
have
to
to look
have
at that.
Discovery Plus, but anyway,
Yeah.
hello,
Yeah. So
hello.
okay. So can we talk about the scoop you gave me like a few months ago? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So Miss Bone, who's a musician in LA, she was the first person that like helped break the story, the news that like Sarper was in the United States. Cause
Oh
That's
wait, are
right.
you the one that saw him at the
no,
gym?
it wasn't in the gym. It was like in the street in
No.
Burbank or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I
yeah, I
was
remember
driving
that
to the
photo.
groceries. I was driving to the grocery store. It was like a Monday or something. And I take this road that's kind of a back road. It's like a jogging trail. I mean, I was driving, I wasn't jogging. And I drove by and I see this big guy and he's wearing like a lime green shirt.
Hmm.
And it was kind of early for me. And I was like, damn, that really looks like Sarper. No way. I was like, there's a million douchebags in LA that look like that. No way, no way, no way. And and then on the way back, I saw like the camera crew walking around with like the big industrial tripods. And I was like, oh, they're filming something. And I was like, oh my God, it is Sarper. And
Hmm.
I saw him. They were like doing like a one-off interview with him on the like jogging trail, and there's like five people around him. So I just, rolled my window down. I was like, oh my God, Sarper. And then they all turned around and looked at me. And so I was like, yeah, that's definitely him. I could see like the shiny silver hair
Hmm.
with the neon green t-shirt. So I'm excited to see like it's gonna have to be on the next season of whatever they're on.
Yeah, no, that was a cool scoop because it was a thing where like, all right, I had to make the I had to make the determination like, do I believe this information or not? And I was like, well, she's a musician
Right.
in LA and she's a legit musician, so I don't think she would like ruin her reputation
Thank you.
for a supper scoop.
Oh yeah. It was real, and it was so strange because when I drove by the first time, I was like, "Damn, that looks like Sarper." And I was like, "No, no. There's just so many dudes that look like that in LA, like gym bros or whatever. You know what I mean? Like big, buff, muscular
Hmm.
with like kind of this flat top action going on." And I had totally forgotten about it. But then when I was driving back home from the groceries, he was full on in the interview. And I was like, oh my God, it's legit. Like I really saw him. And I was like, damn, who can I tell of my friends? Like who else watches this show? And I was like, you know what? I know somebody. So I had to drop the scoop. And I was right, it's true.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. And like, I can't remember the number of days, but I think it was at least like 3 or 4 months where like I guess it was based on the show, so after it was finally mentioned on the show, then he was able to go public with it. But then I made note, I was like, yeah, I posted this like third, like like 3 or 4 months ago. Like that's how long he had to wait. That's
Yeah.
how early we were like on the scoop. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And then his
early because
dad followed you, right?
yeah, his dad followed me, and like that made it even more real because I'm like, why else would he follow me if it wasn't a real scoop?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff. And yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
replies to certain things, but I still kind of bust separate. I'm one of those people where it's like I'm one of those people where it's like if he's because like Sarper doesn't follow me, so
Mm-hmm.
when someone doesn't follow me, I just see it as a license to like break their balls. So I still kind of bust his balls a little bit. But if he did all of a sudden follow me, hint hint, if he follows me, then I would give him more, like nicer coverage. But when you don't follow me, then I
oh,
start busting your balls.
I bust people's balls even if they follow me. I don't care.
Really?
I don't care.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I appreciate y'all for that.
I mean, I still bust like Vea's balls and Vanja's balls.
Oh
I mean,
man.
yeah.
And
It's a mess. it's a mess, and I love it.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched, tonight's episode is really good, so you'll like it.
Tomorrow morning, honey, with my morning coffee, I'm gonna put it on. And
Yeah, you'll be happy. It's been a better. There was no Niles and Matilda on this episode,
Mhm.
but they'll be back soon with their wedding. They're piecing together with everybody else's money. They'll be back soon.
Mhm.
he can put together the $400 or whatever he needs.
Well, wait. Was it $400? Is that all it was?
Yeah, it was like $400 to feed like the whole entire village.
Oh, it's not even that much. Okay, yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, I know in America a wedding can cost up to $25,000 to $50,000. So
Oh yeah.
when he got hit with $400 or whatever it was, and he's like, "Oh, that's a steep amount of money," and I was like, "Well, now I know why you're not married in the States." Like 'cause
Hmm.
Mhm.
a rehearsal dinner will run you $1,500 to $5,000. That's not even the wedding. That's just y'all rehearsing for the wedding. So I don't know how he was ever going to get married in the U.S. if $400 is crazy for him for a wedding for 50 people.
True.
Yeah, poor Niles. I feel for him.
Yeah, I think he's in over his head. I think he's playing big boy games and he's not ready for big boy games yet. I think that he he wants to be in love, he wants to get married, but this K1 visa situation and how much money he needs to make this happen, he's way out of his league of what he's got going. He doesn't have a job,
Oh
right? Cuz
yeah, and then he promised his new daddy over there that he was gonna get her to the US in like 3 months or something, but they have to apply for the visa. I think that visa is like 7 grand or something. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
lot of
it's about
money to
seven. Yeah, it's
apply.
about $7,000.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
And it
and
takes a while, it could take up to 2 years. And now with the new administration, I mean, we're not going to even talk about that, but what if it's like a Angela and Michael situation where it takes like 10 years?
Mhm.
well, yeah, it could. I think the fastest one in history was Yara's spousal
Oh,
visa.
right. Because
Hers,
Jovi, he probably hired a lawyer to do it.
yeah, he had a lawyer do the application for him, and I
Hmm.
believe that she was approved in less than 50 days.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
she was here. So
wow.
because she showed up to the tell-all and everybody was like, "What the hell are you doing here?" That hers was like the fastest one in history. She literally got here so fast. But I don't think Niles is gonna have. I don't think he has enough money for the visa itself, let alone a lawyer. So
Honey,
I,
he
I
don't even have enough money for the knocking ceremony. Poor guy, poor guy.
Yeah.
I would send him $20. I
Do,
really would. I
do,
really like.
do,
He's like so genuine.
do you think Miss Bone, do you think Mr. Ark is going to pay money?
I don't know. I don't know. But I will tell you this. I love his hand. It's just the same. I love when the camera shows it.
Hmm.
And I don't know. Like, I think over there, their customs are so strict and traditional. I think, for him to not have that money shows that he's not like financially responsible enough to be able to take care of a wife, right? Something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think the whole purpose of those traditions is like the bride price and the ceremonies.
Mm-hmm.
That the whole purpose is just to show that number one, you're ready to take on a wife and you're financially stable enough to take on a wife. I think that's kind of the gist that I got of it. That's why they do these things. Yeah, they're not actually selling you their daughter. They just want to show that you can come up with an amount of money out of nowhere, to show like, hey,
Right.
I can take care of her. Look, I just brought you all these clothes. I bought all this food. I'm going to give you this money. I am in a good financial state to take
Right.
your
It's like
daughter.
a credit check from the olden
Right?
days, you
Hmm.
know?
It is. That's literally what
Yeah.
it is. It's a credit check. They
Yeah.
just want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that he can afford this situation.
True. By the way,
Yeah.
Miss Bone, so when are you going to tour on the East Coast?
Oh my goodness. Right now, I'm getting ready to tour Europe at the end of January and February. I'll be in Europe freezing my ass off.
Oh, maybe you could run into
Um,
Bozo.
so I'll probably run into Gibri or
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
like
If you're going to
performing
Serbia,
on the
yeah.
streets or something. Oh no, right now we're getting ready for a European tour, but definitely this
Hmm.
coming year for sure I'll be on the East Coast. There's a really cool night in New York called Syntheside.
Hmm.
And but aren't you in like DC or something?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
There's
It's
a good like
freezing there
there's a
too, right?
decent, yeah, it's freezing, but there's a good music scene here. Like,
I'm sure, yeah.
yeah,
DC's got great music, a lot of like, I think like techno music and stuff like that. So I
yeah,
promise to go to the East Coast this coming year. Promise, promise.
yeah. You got to perform at the 9:30 Club. That's like a famous club that's been around forever.
Awesome, I'll write that down.
But by the way, are you familiar with like Gary Holt? He's like the guitarist for Slayer.
I'm not, why is he cute?
No, but he's a super. Well, I shouldn't say no because, well, I don't know.
Oh, is he a fan?
I like
He's a
I
he's.
like how I like how you just said no with no
I said,
hesitation. I
I said no,
absolutely
and then I
love that.
remembered I'm his friend. I said no, and I realized he's like a super fan and a
Damn.
friend. But yes, no, but he's super talented. But then he's like a super 90 Day super fan.
Well, I love Slayer, so,
Yeah,
but I'm not particularly familiar with him. But Slayer's always great in my book.
yeah. I mean, to be the, I know Slayer has had previous guitarists, but he's the current guitarist of Slayer. And I know the
Okay.
band has had different iterations, but nevertheless, if you're the current guitarist on Slayer, that means you're damn talented, right?
Yeah, you're doing pretty good. Yes.
Okay, because
Good for Gary.
not everybody could shred to be the lead guitarist in Slayer. I'm pretty sure, but yeah,
Right.
but
That's like,
he's like a
yeah,
diehard like super fan on 90 Days, so
I love that.
you should look him up or something.
I love that. There's a whole group of diehard 90 Day fans. I have a friend who has a radio show in Seattle, KEXP, Charlize. She's an amazing DJ. And that's literally all we talk about. I saw her, I played a festival up there a few months ago. And literally all we talk about is 90 Day Fiancé. And we were thinking, like, after the festival, let's go home to your apartment and we'll watch like 90 Day.
Yeah,
It's so great. It's so like everyone is so damn delusional that it just makes me feel really good about my life. I don't know if everybody else feels that way too.
so yeah, like like when you're on stage, you're wearing like leather and stuff like that. Like that's
Leather and latex.
yeah, latex and leather.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't look like a square on stage.
Oh no, 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 no. No, no. We get sexy on stage and then I get home, put on my pajamas and
Hmm,
sit down and it's a stage show. I don't wear latex at home.
true.
It's too much work.
No, but if people didn't know you were a 90 Day super fan and they just saw you on stage, you'd be like, they'll probably be intimidated by you, right?
Oh my goodness, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually posted on my Facebook, like, you know what? When I saw Sarper, I was like, guys, I think I might be famous now for my dirtiest secret. I'm a huge 90 Day Fiancé fan. And a bunch of my friends chimed in, like, oh my God, me too. One of my friends, she's like a psychic in Austin. We're
Mhm.
all 90 Day sluts, like all of us.
Well,
It's
the
beautiful.
cast members love psychics, so
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
they
even
love
that one
they
that
love
Love
tarot
After
cards and
Lockup.
psychics and everything. Yeah.
Was that Zaraya on Love After Lockup? She's like, the
Mm.
psychic said there's all this bad energy, and we're like, the bad energy is you.
True. Well, there's Zariah. There's like Ashley from Ashley and Manuel, who's like a witch. There's Angela,
Oh,
that's a psychic.
right.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes.
She's like bodybuilding now and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she
Good for
is.
her.
And then Joan like reads palms, right?
Yeah, she's a palm reader.
Hmm.
Somebody's
That's
got to keep
wild.
her husband Sean housed and fed, right?
That's right. That's right.
He's not getting a job.
Hey, did you guys hear about Colty?
Which news?
Colty, like his leg
Hmm.
is messed up and it's because of the Ozempic. He broke
Hmm.
it and he's
Yeah.
like all jacked up. Was it you that
Yeah.
posted? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it had to be you.
Yeah. That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
That was.
he's,
I shouldn't out my sources, but let's just say, yeah, that was the theory that was delivered by someone that knew him intimately.
wow. That's that's a sad turn of events.
Yeah.
I was watching Larissa on House of Villains,
Hmm.
but she got like thrown off, I think, the first episode, so she didn't do too good. Nobody could understand a word she was saying.
Are
You know,
you?
no judgment, but
I posted her photo the other day showing off her under boob.
yes, yes, I saw that too.
True. That's quite a talent to show off the under boob. I feel like that's difficult or
You
something.
know, you gotta get your money's worth and show the whole thing as much as you can, I guess.
True. Well, all right. So you want to drop a tell us where we could find you, Miss Bone.
I'm on Instagram, MS period BOAN. You can find me there. I'm on Spotify. The band name is Bone BOAN, and I'm everywhere on YouTube. You can look me up,
Mhm.
BOAN, Ms. Bone. Got some music videos and all sorts of good stuff going on this year. We're gonna make it a
You
great year.
you
We're
got to
gonna
get
try, honey.
you got to get Sarper to like appear on stage with you or something.
Oh my God. We could put him in a music video, like he could just be like a shadow and like lifting weights or something, like something
Mhm.
muscly, you know, something very homoerotic, like George Michael, like 90s.
I feel like
That would be
he
appropriate.
would. I feel like he would love that.
Oh my God, Shekinah would come for me, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. She kind of wouldn't like you. She'd be intimidated by you.
Nah, no, we probably wouldn't get on.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, look, if I see anyone or anything, you'll be
Mhm.
the first to know.
I appreciate it. You know, the Shibu tea is the best tea, as I say.
I love that. It is. It is. Thank you for your what you do for humanity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And yeah, I'll have this episode that we're currently recording on Spotify and Apple tomorrow, and then you could send it to your friends. Say, hey, I appeared on 90 Day Fiance Fridays on a Sunday podcast.
Absolutely. I would love to do. Oh, they're going to be so jealous.
Yeah. So thank.
I
They
love
should be.
it.
I know. And
Yes.
George Massey, he's the man too.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Yes,
thank
nice to
you.
meet you, George.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. True. I don't know what happened to. I don't know
Awesome.
what happened to our co-host Coco. You ran her off or something.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
so
she like
sorry.
disappeared. I don't know. She literally just
Yeah.
jetted out of here. I have no idea what is going on with her.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm so sorry. You know, I love to gab. I just get on and it's on, you know, we're just chit-chatting.
True.
So,
But all right. So I guess we were on for a while before you joined. But George, should we end it there?
There's one more thing
Hmm.
that I wanted to mention. So Liz made a
Oh
post
yeah.
and she released some information. So a lot of people, and I think this post was based on, Liz lost a lot of weight, and a lot of people were coming at her in different ways, like saying, "Oh, she's on Ozempic," and
Mhm.
I don't know what's going on with her. And there's a lot of speculation. And she made a post after she ran that marathon that she's been talking about for quite some time now, and revealed that she had just did her last round of chemotherapy.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of fans were really, really shocked by this information. So I knew about this information, but those type of pieces of information, I don't give away. I don't tell people what I know.
Mhm.
So she didn't tell me specifically. She told her group of her circle of friends, and then one of her circle of friends is a really good friend of mine. I got the information. So I knew about it, but from what I understand, they caught it early, and this last round of chemo, this is good news,
Mhm.
and it definitely seems like this is something that is going to be in her past.
Mhm.
So I'm just really happy to know that she's doing well, and the chemo went well, and the earlier you catch these things, the better. And from what I understand, they caught it very, very early stages.
Mhm.
So her putting that information out there, a lot of people were coming for her. And I know sometimes people feel the need to defend themselves online, but I don't think she ever needed to defend anyone. And the reason why she lost so much weight is because of the chemo. And I don't know if people have been on chemotherapy before, but you don't want to eat.
Mhm.
It makes you weak. It makes things really difficult.
mm,
So that's why she looks the way she does. But she's working towards rebuilding her strength and her health at this point.
Yeah, like I had heard rumblings of like the chemo thing, just on social, like on Instagram comments and shit, like prior to this latest post. And then also, I mean, in just conversations with her, she said she had some health issues, but she didn't get into any details. And then, yeah, like I said, I did see the rumblings of chemo in various earlier Instagram comments. But I think it was one of those things where it's just like, I purposely, if it wasn't Liz, if it was someone else, I would go digging. But since it was like Liz, I kind of like left it there. I was just like, if she wants to tell me, she could tell me, but I didn't want to like, I kind of, out of respect, I just kind of like, I didn't want to I didn't want to chase it down. I was like, well, you know what I mean? With her, I wanted to be like extra respectful, but if it was someone else, I would have figured out the information, the real tea.
Well, right. She told a very small group of people,
Hmm.
and with doing so, it's interesting because I was talking to some people the other day, and I was like, well, now that we saw that the story did get out, there's only a handful of people who knew, so now we can do the process of elimination to know who's got a big ass mouth, right? Because
Hmm.
we only she told literally a tiny group of people, and we all know who told who. Mostly no one told anyone, but I just happened to I found out by mistake. I was on a FaceTime call with a bunch of people, and somebody brought it up, and then, oh shit, now I know. So we're just doing the process of elimination to figure out, well, these people on Instagram seem to know, so one of you told someone, so
Hmm.
that's kind of where we were.
True,
Mm.
but she's told me she's at least told me like one like personal thing where like I'm probably gonna take it to my grave because it's not my business to put it out there. So I was so it's I don't know. Yeah, this thing she didn't tell me, but there's other things she's told me that I've never like repeated just because it's too personal. But so yeah, but it is. But as everyone knows, I'm a list. That's like my homegirl, so I always try to be extra respectful with her.
Yeah, I try to respect people's, especially when it comes to medical stuff.
Hmm.
Like, I don't like to get, I try to keep, that's not the same as drama and tea.
Yeah.
Like, somebody
Mm.
having like a medical condition or a disability, or like, that's not the same thing as, finding out they got arrested or so, like that. It's not the same thing. And I try not to be like spreading information like that,
Hmm.
because these are real people. Yeah, they were on a reality show. Yeah, they're doing stupid things half the time, but they're still real people, and they
Yeah.
have the right to tell, their story on their own terms. So I try to give everybody that. And Liz had that. She had that opportunity to tell her story on her terms. She told people when she was ready to tell people, and I think that's how it should be.
Yeah.
And she seems like such a sweet person. Like, when I saw that post, I was like, God, sending so much positive healing energy to her. Thank God she finished and she's okay. And yeah, people lose weight when they're going through chemo. But you know what, honey? If she could survive Big Ed, she can survive this too. And I'm really happy for her,
Me, me
that
too.
she's doing okay.
Yeah, what
I
doesn't kill
think
you, it
everybody
makes you.
likes her.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So she's hell of a
Yeah.
lot stronger from this. Like you said, she was almost married to Big Ed. You can't get any more
I
stronger than
know.
that,
Mhm.
right?
And
That
she handled it so gracefully by keeping it quiet. If that would have happened to Ed, he would have, oh my goodness,
Mhm.
Oh,
it
he
would have,
would have turned it into a spectacle.
Mhm.
He
oh,
would.
truly,
Yeah, there's
truly.
no information that he can't twist to be something for him to make money or views or,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So yeah, he would have made it into a spectacle, and that just shows you how different
Mm-hmm.
that they are. Because she could have easily went online and said, "Oh, help me! I could use help," and gotten some of this. She wanted to fight her own battle on her own. So I respect
Yeah,
people like that, because Ed would have made
very.
this everybody else's issue.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Good for her. Praying for her.
yeah, and I always like this news aside, prior to all this happening, I always told her like, hey, you should like, I always like lectured her. I was like, hey, you should like tone down the drinking just because like, I don't know, I've been through it where it ruins relationships and ruins lives. So I always told her, yeah, you should tone down your drinking because I always try to look out for her.
Yeah, I remember you lecturing her, actually.
Hmm.
And it was really interesting because, me and, Coco, we drink and stuff. So I thought it was interesting. I was like, oh, so you don't care if I'm just a little drunk idiot. You just want Liz to be out here healthy. I see what it is.
Nah, I don't want you all fucked up either, but it is good for a podcast now.
I am in rare form. The more drinks I
Yeah.
have, the more fun I am. But that's just in
I'm sure
general.
we could all tone down our drinking a little bit these days.
Yes, I definitely could. You're 100% right.
Same, honey.
True.
I could.
Well,
But yeah, that was all. I wanted to bring that up, but
mhm.
that was it for tonight, though. Yeah, for I just wanted to make sure that we spoke on that. Liz is doing well. That was her last round, and then they're gonna run tests. You know, they run these final tests to make sure everything is still looking good. That's where she's at now. So I'm just happy for her.
Yeah, same. Well, thank you for letting me jump on here and spill a little tea and chat a little bit with
You know,
y'all.
that
And
was good to get the firsthand to get to talk to the source firsthand.
hey, you know,
Yeah.
a rocker is not gonna cap, as they say.
Yeah, it's true.
There's
It's
a
true.
rocker, no cap from the rocker. Yeah, she's legit.
All right. Well, y'all have a Merry Christmas, okay?
Thank you.
You too.
Since this is our last show till Christmas, we should give an official Merry Christmas to all of our listeners across the world.
That's true. That's true. Merry Christmas to everyone, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Um, I'm very grateful this year for 90 Day Fiance that's brought us all together,
Mhm.
right? From all these different places, different languages, different lands, different nations. All of us are talking about this same show. So that's my Christmas present for me this year is all these amazing people that I got to connect with through this show. I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, and if you celebrate something other than Christmas, Merry whatever you celebrate. I'm with whatever you're into.
Yeah. Yeah, married to whatever that is too.
True. All right. Well, we'll hopefully see y'all Friday, as long as didn't have too much eggnog.
Oh yeah, we should be good because Christmas is Wednesday. Yeah, I'll be good by Friday. I'll be
Yeah.
totally fine.
True. And Miss Bone, yeah, if you ever want to hop on, join us. We're on Friday nights after 10 Eastern, and we're on Sundays after 11-ish Eastern. So yeah, feel free to join
Oh,
us.
absolutely. I would love to join you. You can count on me anytime.
Sounds good. Thank you, everyone, and see y'all Friday.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace.